What up YouTube, Specrod here with another video, and this time we're going to do another entry in my unpopular opinion series, and this time we're going to do anime. I have a few unpopular opinions when it comes to anime, but these might be a little bit more controversial than video games, but of course we will follow the same rules as before. I will go through by least to most controversial opinion, because I love to be so hated. A few of these I have actually discussed on the channel, but never expanded upon them that much. So, without further ado, let's begin. Okay, first opinion. I mostly prefer English dubs to the subtitled versions. That's not to say that I will never watch the subtitled version. In fact, I have watched the subtitled versions of many anime that I love. But overall, I prefer the English dubs for several reasons. First of all, reading large amounts of text is a pain in the fucking ass for me. This is especially bad because anime tends to be very dialogue heavy compared to most other types of cartoons. I also learn better by hearing things out loud than by reading them. Also, for a vast majority of the anime that I've watched, I just found that the dialogue in the English dub to be just better written than the Japanese version. That's not to say there are no anime where the subtitle version is better. I think the subtitle version of Gunsmith Cats and maybe Lunar Legend Tsukushima and Blood Sea are better than the dub. But I can think of several anime where I prefer the English dub. These include High School of the Dead, High School DxD, Hellsing Ultimate, Samurai Champloo, Overlord, Angel Cop. I could go on from there, but I think I've made my point. The rest I've seen are so close to each other that there's just not that much to compare, at least in terms of dialogue. But my point really was the English dubs I prefer took the Japanese version's dialogue and improved on it. So yeah. Alright, next unpopular opinion. I prefer Bleach to Dragon Ball Z. I've seen both series and I enjoy Bleach more. First of all, Dragon Ball Z, from my experience, starts out kind of good, but really lost me when they did that stupid fucking Angel arc. It goes on for several episodes, which makes it even more annoying. Bleach, on the other hand, starts out okay, but gets really good by episode 9. Still not ideal, but I had an easier time getting into Bleach. Bleach is also more adult than Dragon Ball Z. There's more blood and more adult language, and that elevates it for me, admittedly. But the main reason I prefer Bleach is I could relate to the main hero Ichigo more. Goku is more like Spider-Man or Superman, in the sense that he is too much of a grandstanding, dogmatic, almost pacifistic hero for me to really say that I like. Ichigo is more of a hothead, angry and violent character, but he is still a character that I could root for because he fights to protect people from the Hollows. His dedication to that goal is undeniable and inspiring. Ichigo is just more of a real hero. He's not just a hero that tries to appear good. He tries to appear real, is what I'm trying to say. I also think Bleach has several memorable and unique characters compared to Dragon Ball Z, including Rukia, Renji, Orihime, Yoruichi, and even Don Kanochi. You know, the fucking guy. So yeah, I prefer Bleach to Dragon Ball Z. Next unpopular opinion. I actually enjoyed Blood Sea. A lot of people don't really like this series, and I honestly don't get the hate that it gets. I thought it was really good. I will admit the third and fourth episode make you believe that it's just going to be another overly saccharine series with only the monsters to give it some fucking balls. But by episode 5, the series gets really fucking dark. But I think it was a better development than people think. There were already hints that the series was going to be darker, mostly in the shit with the Elder Barons and Sai's father, who is a samurai. I also thought that the twist at the end was shocking and made total sense, and had numerous hints that changed the way I looked at the previous events. I will admit I hate that it ends on a cliffhanger, but the rest of the story is resolved in a movie called Bloodseed: The Last Dark, so I can't get too pissed about that. So anyway, next unpopular opinion. Now this is a new one. I prefer Getter Robo Armageddon to Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. I've seen both series, and Getter Robo Armageddon is the better series. While Mobile Suit Gundam Wing starts out pretty good, as it goes on, it turns into a Star Wars ripoff with all the worst aspects about it. It reminds me a lot of the prequels in a sense that it goes into a lot of the politics and the ethics of war. Maybe it's better tied into the story, but it's still annoying, and even then, it's still as black and white as Star Wars tends to be. So it's just not that deep. Getter Robo Armageddon is way more nuanced in its storytelling. The very first episode has a guy who tries to kill a scientist, and he actually becomes a hero that we're supposed to root for, because the scientist he was going after wasn't really a good guy. I mean, most of it is your standard mecha action series, but the whole beginning is deeper than anything in Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Besides, if you have a formula of giant robots engaging in brutal combat and you're damn good at it, I don't mind. And that's what I get from Getter Robo Armageddon. Also, the songs in the opening and ending of Getter Robo Armageddon are better than the ones in Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. So yeah. Now this is actually a new one. Outlaw Star is better than Cowboy Bebop. This one's a little bit different because I actually like aspects of both series, but I prefer Outlaw Star overall. First of all, Cowboy Bebop only really starts getting good by episode 5. With Outlaw Star, the first episode is fucking awesome. It also remains pretty consistently good throughout. I mean, there were a few episodes that were not that good, but even the weaker ones had at least one good element, and even some damn good moments. Cowboy Bebop has a large amount of episodes that are honestly not that good, and they often end things in a pretty unsatisfying way or have way too many annoying aspects. Also, that Edward Wong kid or whatever is fucking annoying. Outlaw Star is also just more charming than Cowboy Bebop. Faye insults men quite a few times in the series. None of the women in Outlaw Star insult men. That alone makes Outlaw Star better. But I will say, Steve Bloom is really fucking good as Spike. And the two-part finale is probably the best couple of episodes of the series. It was very emotional and thought-provoking. But Outlaw Star has a lot of scenes that are like that too, and has a pretty good finale, all things considered. But yeah, Outlaw Star is a damn good series, and is yeah, and I would argue it's better than Cowboy Bebop. All right. Last unpopular opinion, and this is probably going to be the most controversial out of all of them. I am not a fan of Studio Ghibli. I mean, I've only seen one movie by them, which was Nausicaa: The Valley of the Wind. It was okay, but not really something I would ever watch again. Most of their other movies just look a little too cutesy for my liking. I think I would enjoy movies like Ninja Scroll or Redline or hell, maybe even Perfect Blue or Paprika more. I mean, I respect them because without them, anime probably wouldn't be as mainstream as it is now. But it doesn't mean I would seek out any of their movies. At least I know what I like. Alright? And I just want to seek out what I like, basically. So anyway, that's it for this installment. Leave your love and leave your hate down in the comments. I'm Spike Robot. If you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, and feel free to support me on Patreon and follow me on Instagram. If you support me on Patreon, you can get exclusive tweets on my next video. And if you follow me on Instagram, you can see all the pictures I took in Venice, Italy, so go check those out if you want. See you next time on the Freedom Jingos.
Outside of this world, there's a life force still burning. Outside of this land, there's a star shining free.